though I want your touch. Baby, you're so high, stay. I don't mind a little crazy, but baby, you're so high, stay. We don't need to go on a fast. I need this night.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. Today it's going to be a really fun video. We're doing a full face of my 2019 makeup favorites. This was so difficult because I actually picked one product from every single category, but in front of me has been my favorite makeup that I have used all year, things that I reach for, things that I pack when I travel. I'm planning on doing a 2019 like favorites roundup, and I'm going to talk about skincare, other makeup that I maybe didn't talk about today. Before we go ahead and get started with this video, first make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the little notification bell. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So I'm actually filming this on Christmas Eve. I got back from Seattle like super late last night, and I've just been traveling so much the last few weeks. If you guys have followed me on Instagram, I was just in Mexico as well, and I was home for one day, then flew to Seattle for another week. So now I just was so happy to sleep in my own bed last night. Anyways, starting off with makeup, the first thing that I always do is my eyebrows. If you have watched any of my makeup tutorials, you guys know I was obsessed with my Anastasia brow pomade, and I was just ride or die for that. But this year it was actually replaced, and I have been loving the Benefit Ka-Brow. This is their gel pomade in the shade 6. The only thing I will say is I wish the packaging was a little bit different, because I actually don't use the little spoolie here just because it is kind of dinky, and when I pack it, it's just a little bit chunky. But I do actually love the actual pomade. I just find that it doesn't dry out as easily as my ABH brow pomade does, but it stays just as well, and it's just as easy to use. Another thing that I like to do is once I filled in a majority of my brows with the brow pomade, I will actually go in next with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 6 and kind of just fill in the rest of the gaps. I love going in with a brow pencil afterwards because I feel like this pencil gives me really nice hair-like strokes, and it just makes my eyebrows look a little bit more like realistic. Next, I'm actually gonna go in with a primer, but then I'm gonna skip ahead to do my eye makeup. I just like doing my primer first just to give it kind of a second to soak into the skin, and I loved this primer so much. This is the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. Beginning of the year, I used it almost every single time I did my makeup, and then near the end of the year, I like remembered how much I loved it. It reminds me a lot of like the Hourglass primer. It just feels super expensive, and it smooths out my pores and just makes me look really airbrushed and perfect. I also do find that when I use this primer, my foundation just glides on so perfectly. There isn't any dry patches or any areas where the foundation kind of skips onto my skin. I don't normally prime my eyes, but if I wanted to, if I had to choose an eye primer, I really love this Terry Mere. This is the Smudge Proof Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Base. I love this stuff so much because you really do not need a whole lot. It is really expensive, but it's actually clean and non-toxic, which if you guys have watched any of my recent videos, you guys know I'm making the slow switch to clean beauty, and I know you're sick of me saying it all the time, but that is just the reasoning. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for products that have like better ingredients. It just blends out so easily. As far as eyeshadow palettes, I didn't really have anything that I reached for that often, just because you guys know my everyday makeup, I don't really wear that much makeup. Like, this is my everyday makeup. But if I am going glam, a palette that I have been reaching for every single day since I got it, and it's kind of cheating because I just got this palette, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Starry Eyes to Hypnotize palette. The colors in here are just unreal. It blends out so easily. This transition color is so versatile. You could build it up really dark, and all the shimmer shades in here are just so stinking pretty. This black is super black, but also blends out really nicely as well, and I just think this is the perfect all-in-one eyeshadow palette. I do not feel like I need any other eyeshadow palette in my life. The only thing I do wish is, I wish there was like a deeper brown in here, something in between like this brown and this black, so that I could kind of deepen up my outer corner if I wanted to. But I reach for this palette non-stop. It is so stunning. I feel like it is a little bit more expensive, but to me it is so worth the money because it blended out so easily and I created so many pretty looks using this palette. The colors in here are so versatile. You can create it for so many different looks and I have just been loving the heck out of this palette. If you guys want to see like a 3 looks 1 palette with this, let me know. Another palette that I loved earlier in the year is this Ilia Warm Nude Necessary eyeshadow palette, and the colors in here are just everything that you could possibly need for any type of warm look that you're going for. I also love that it's clean. I'm actually going in with this Morphe M433 brush and I'm just going to pick up this warm color right here. I've recently loved starting out with my eye makeup first because I just feel like it's so much easier to clean out the makeup, make it really, really messy, and it just gives me more of a like pretty diffused makeup look. I lately have been loving going in with a fluffy brush to kind of pat the shimmer shade in, and it also helps to blend out the edges and it just gives me like a really smooth look. This is the finished effect and I just love how all the tones just look so pretty. One trick that I've been loving is I actually really like to clean up the eyeshadow and it just gives me a really pretty look. So I have a makeup wipe right here, put my finger in it, that sounds weird. Following the line, my bottom lash line, I kind of want to follow that angle, and this would be the same angle if I used wing liners, and it gives you like a really pretty defined look. And then using the makeup wipe, just clean up everything underneath that line. It makes it look like we put a lot more effort into our makeup than we actually did. I have been loving this curler by Laura Mercier. It's weird to like an eyelash curler so much. I previously was using the Shiseido one and I just love this one so much more. It's so easy to curl my lashes and it just fits my eye shape so nicely. Okay, then going in with mascara, I always layer 2 mascaras on top of each other just because my eyelashes are so straight. I like starting off with a waterproof mascara. My favorite waterproof mascara that I've discovered all year, you guys probably already know, is the Heroin Make Volume and Curl Mascara. It's super waterproof and I actually picked this up from Japan. I love this mascara. It keeps my eyelashes curled all day. I've worn this in the sauna and showered with it and it still is on my eyelashes. It keeps them curled through all of that. So you do really need like a high strength waterproof eye makeup remover to remove it. But for my straight Asian eyelashes, there is nothing that compares to this. I will continue purchasing this until I no longer have eyelashes. Then following up with my favorite mascara of the entire year is this Ilia mascara. Brush on this thing is amazing and it just helps me to really get in on all of my baby little lashes. And I also love that this doesn't clump on me. It stays on really nicely and it also layers really well with my waterproof mascara. I could honestly leave my eyes like that if I wanted to, but because we want to go full glam, I want to show you guys my favorite eyelashes of all time. These are the House of Lashes Iconic. They look like actual doo-doo right now. These are just the prettiest lashes I have ever laid my eyes on. They are just so fluttery and piecey. Every time I wear these, I get people asking what lashes are these. I also do really love the Iconic lights, but nothing compares to the Iconic. House of Lashes has such affordable lashes as well, so you can't really beat that. A lash glue that I've been loving is this Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. This is the strongest lash glue that I have ever used. If you don't want your eyelashes to move and you want them to stay all day, this is your lash glue. The only thing about this is it is so strong that sometimes it leaves so much residue in my lashes, so I don't use this for every single day. But for every day, I've been really liking this Duo Strip Lash Adhesive. I feel like it is such a happy medium. It keeps my lashes on all day, but it also is really easy to remove at the end of the night. It doesn't leave residue in my lashes, so I do really enjoy this lash glue. I almost did a wing today, but knowing how dramatic and gorgeous these lashes are, you really do not need much. This was actually something that I recently started doing, but now I never ever skip it. Since these are such a thick lash, you can sometimes see the band and the white of the glue just sometimes just doesn't dry out all the way. So I like to go in with liquid eyeliner. My favorite liquid eyeliner has been the Tarte's Double Take Eyeliner, and this is actually a dual-ended eyeliner. This liquid eyeliner, I think you can buy it by itself, but it is so black, so pigmented, and so waterproof. Sometimes I'll shower and there will be like eyeliner still in my eyes. Love going in with this, and it is like a felt tip, which makes it really easy for me to hide my lash band. Now we're going into my favorite part, the face makeup. I'm going in with the, no surprise here, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This foundation is so worth the money. It gives my skin the most beautiful finish, and it also has like a medium buildable coverage, which I really like. I've been having such a good skin month. I recently posted an updated skincare routine, and this routine has been really helping my skin just look so good all the time. And paired with this foundation, even if you have breakouts or problematic skin, this foundation just looks so good on every skin type or whatever skin issues that you're wanting to cover up. It just looks like actual skin. The color matches me perfectly, and it just lasts so long throughout the day. It also photographs really beautifully, and I just can't say enough good things about this foundation. I think it's absolutely worth the money. I have it in the shade 6.5, and I love going in with my Artiste brush to blend it out. By the way, I am using this little sponge that I got from AliExpress. I talked about it in my favorite beauty sponges, but this is so soft. Okay, now that the base makeup is all on, my favorite concealer corrector has been the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Waterproof Concealer. This has been so amazing for really correcting any of the darkness under my under eyes. I used to think that I needed to go in with a super light, bright concealer to kind of hide that, but sometimes it just ends up making my face look really white or washed out. What I found really helps to conceal my under eyes is to go in with a corrector or a concealer that's really peachy, orangey color to kind of just correct that, and then go in with a concealer that's my shade. This concealer is amazing because it's really thick and full coverage. You really do not need a whole lot. I tap it in with my fingers and kind of just blend it out a little bit, and then I'll follow up with a fuller coverage concealer on top of that, and see what difference that made. It just instantly brightened my under eyes and just makes it look so much more awake. This is my favorite holy grail concealer all year, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I actually discovered this end of 2018, but I still have not found anything that tops this. It's really full coverage. It blends out so easily, and I love how it's kind of a watery formula. It reminds me a lot of the Tarte Shape Tape, but it isn't as matte. It just looks super pretty on your skin. They also have such a big shade range, and I feel like for the price you really do get a lot. Doe foot applicator is also really nice. It's big and fat. And then next I have this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, and I love this for kind of just making sure that everything is seamless, blended out, and really buffed into my pores. Next, we're gonna go in with cream blush. You guys know I've been such a fan of cream products this year. I have been loving this Tower 28 Luminous Tinted Balm in the shade Magic Hour. First off, this packaging is just so chic, but this color is gorgeous. It's like the perfect mauve nude for me. It's kind of a thicker balm, but once you put it on, it's very full coverage. It stays all day, and that's one of my favorite things about cream blushes. I just feel like it lasts a little bit longer on my skin. It looks a little bit more natural. It almost looks as if your skin is flushing from the inside. So another thing that I've been loving to do is dragging in the blush across my nose as well, and I just feel like having that blush all across this area just makes it look a little bit more natural, and it just looks so cute and flushed. Okay, and the skin looks really dewy and pretty, but I do want this to last all day, so I'm actually gonna set my face. This is so boring, and I feel like so many people rave about this, but it truly is the best translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. If you haven't tried this yet, baby, what is you doing? Another favorite that I discovered this year is actually the Hourglass Veil translucent setting powder. It's so beautiful, so finely milled, and the packaging is just so chic and pretty. So to avoid being boring, I'm actually gonna use this powder today. It is just a little bit more sticky, so sometimes it does cake up on some certain areas of my face, so I just have to make sure that I go in with my sponge, make sure that everything is blended out and I don't have any like chunks of like extra concealer gooped up, because the powder will cake up on that. Whereas the Laura Mercier is just a little bit more forgiving. You can just be messy and it just never does me wrong. Then I will actually take the translucent powder down the bridge of my nose, and I like baking the sides of my nose just because one, my nose gets super oily throughout the day, and two, I just find that it really helps to snatch my nose a little bit and makes it just look a little bit more like, okay, now that that has been sitting there for a little bit, I'm actually gonna just brush it away. My favorite face powder this entire year has been the Cargo HD Picture Perfect Pressed Powder, and wow. Every time I use this, I'm so impressed with the way that it makes my skin look. I'm actually going in with a spicy choco brush. This brush is amazing because it's so freaking soft. So I will just kind of brush this all over my face, just make sure that I really set it in place. I just want this makeup to stay all day. I'm actually going to Brandon's parents' house. That just makes my skin look so airbrushed and perfect. Next, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. I was so late to the game, but I have been obsessed with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This one is in the deep shade. I'm going in with my Morphe and 523 brush to kind of just bronze my whole face. But this is amazing. It smells just as good as everyone says, and if you've been sleeping on this powder, you definitely need to pick this up because ever since I got it, I have been using it every single day. It just gives my skin the prettiest bronzy color. It looks so natural and it just smells amazing too. The only reason why I haven't really been traveling with it as much is because the packaging is kind of like chonky. I know this kind of sounds like a lot, but I love going in and contouring next. I discovered the Benefit Hoola bronzer this year, and oh my gosh, this is another bronzer that I slept on. The color of it is so perfect and it also just blends out so nicely. It comes with a little brush that I actually do enjoy, so I'm just going to use that flat edge to just kind of chisel out my cheekbones. And then this has probably got to be my favorite step of my entire makeup routine, nose contouring. I am using this Luxie 182 nose contouring brush. This is a must-have. I cannot live without this brush. I love this nose contour brush because it just helps me get the best shape, and paired with the Hoola bronzer, it just gives me like the best snatch. My nose just looks like... My cream blush has faded a little bit, so I do want to add another blush on top. This has been one of my favorite palettes I was using literally non-stop. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit. The shades in here are so stunning. I think these palettes are such a must. They are a little bit expensive, but they are baked, so it gives your skin like the prettiest, most natural look. I'm saying natural a lot because that's like my favorite type of makeup look. Another palette that I was sent this year that I started reaching for a lot too is another palette from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost Edition. Colors in here are equally just as stunning. As you can see, I used the heck out of this bronzer, but these two blushes right here are just so pretty. So I'm going in with a Sephora Collection angled brush, and I'm just gonna pick up kind of both of them where I put on the blush earlier, and then again dragging it across my nose. We are nearing the end and the makeup just looks flawless. I love how everything looks together. I'm actually going to line my lips because I do need a little bit of love-in. I have been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Hot Gossip. Charlotte Tilbury is such a pretty pinky color, but I love it because it's a little bit deeper. With my tan skin tone, my lips are actually pretty pigmented, so I don't like when my lips look a little bit too pinky or pale. So this is a perfect nude color for me. Another lip liner I have been loving is this Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in the color Undercover. This one I have loved so much. I actually really like that it is like a big chunky pencil because it's so easy for me to really line my lips and overline too, and also just to fill it in. So I feel like you do get a lot of bang for your buck. This color is also very pretty. It looks very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, but it actually is just a little bit deeper. If I had to pick one, this one is definitely my favorite lip liner of 2019. And it's gonna be the one that I'm using today. I'm obsessed. It is just the perfect nudie brownie pink color, and it just makes my lips look so plush and voluptuous. Next, I'm gonna go in with lip colors. I had 3 favorite nudes that I reached for. Number 1 is this Burt's Bees Suede Splash lipstick, and this is such a goodie. It's such a pretty like pinky nude color. On the lips, it is just the perfect nude color. The finish of it is also just so pretty. Another one that I loved is this Milani lipstick in the shade Bahama Beige. This is like my perfect brown. I like that this one doesn't have a pink tone. It just truly is like a beautiful brownie beige color. This lipstick I discovered later in the year, but is by Flesh. This is their lipstick in the shade Hungry, but there is on top, has a really pretty finish. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Flesh one. I think the look is fine as it is, but if I wanted to top it off with a lip gloss, I've been loving this Fenty Beauty lip gloss in the color Fenty Glow. I think every girl needs to have this lip gloss in her life because it just is a perfect nudie color. Finally, we are nearing the end of this look. I'm going in with my favorite Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This setting spray truly does make my makeup last all night. I have certain sprays that make my makeup look a little bit dewier and prettier and less powdery, but it doesn't prolong the wear of my makeup, whereas I feel like this one really does help. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face really quick. Then to finish, I'm just gonna apply highlighter. My favorite highlighter of the year has got to be the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. This is just my favorite highlighter. It's a perfect color for me. Like, wow, it just makes my skin look so healthy. And I like to bring some down the bridge of my nose as well. And then finishing up with a brow gel. My favorite brow gel of all time is the M Cosmetics brow gel. There aren't very many little brow gels that can keep my brow hairs up. The brush is so small and I feel like it just really helps to really get in there and brush all of my brow hairs up, keeps them up all day, and it just adds a definition that just makes me look like I am a brow pro. No other brow gel compares. So this is the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed and found it helpful. These are all of my favorite products that I have been loving and reaching for so much this year. Again, I am planning to do a end of year favorites talking about all of these skincare and any other makeup and miscellaneous items that I haven't covered yet. Be sure to stay tuned for that. But if you all enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite makeup products this year were. If we shared any of the same favorites, I would love to know what you guys were loving this year. That is it for this week's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.